Dobry wieczór Państwu. Rozpoczynamy 10.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're starting the 10th Jubilee Digital Dragons Awards, and we're so glad that after 2 years break, there are so many of you, we can meet again, and there's so much sun in Kraków. We're really honored, and we're so glad that you welcome us so warmly, so we welcome all the audience who are here in ICE Kraków Congress Center. Let me also welcome all those who watch us on Polsat Games rebroadcasted. We welcome on behalf of organizers and partners, that's KPT, City of Kraków and Małopolska region, and we thank all the partners and sponsors. The evening will be full of emotions. We've got 6 categories for prizes. There will be special awards and also a music star, but let it remain a mystery and a secret. To us, it's also a great honor to be today on this stage. My name is Sonia Wojciechowska, and I represent Kraków Technology Park, the organizer of the gala. And we've got the Polsat Games people here and the faux pas, Radosław and Tadeusz. Of course, you can count on us going with a lot of faux pas. And now, a first surprise, not yet a faux pas, but a surprise. Let's have Anna Krampus-Sepielak of Kraków Technology Park on stage and Łukasz Słoniowski, who is the deputy president of the park. Let's have some chat about the Digital Dragons Awards Gala and also about the whole initiative that gathers us here. Good evening. Good evening. All right, 10 years. It's been 10 years of Digital Dragons Awards. We will discuss some things. How did you create it? How was it created? We'd like to learn some anecdotes and also to learn whether you were as stressed as you are now when you were starting it 10 years ago. Ania, how about you starting? Certainly, that's plenty of emotions. And we were starting with a very small gala. The first period were 300 people, then it grew to 500. Now there are more than 2,000 of you here. So you go about such events in absolutely different manner. Łukasz, I wasn't here for the first Dragons. I can tell you about the first ones that were mine. That's a story about... Okay, that was just after I got a job at KTP. I didn't know what that was. I was deputy president. Basia came and said, look, the plane with the minister is a bit late. Somebody must go and fetch her. How about you? Oh, doesn't know how to do things, so probably he can drive. So I did. Oh, come on, the CEO doesn't feel well. You've got to get back. Okay, go back. The plane was very late, so I got back. You had to be at the gala. I dressed nicely. I said, okay, I'll be here in the place of Mr. President. I was here with the minister, and she goes with all those numbers. 2% of our exports to the US, it's games. Thank you very much. And I say, hey, cool thing to know. Okay, then I learned some things. Okay, good to know that you know. And that's how I started with the Dragons. Yes, it's a fact that organizing the gala, the Digital Gala Dragons, the organizer never knows what they will have to do. Very often we have to stand in for people who fail to arrive and impersonate various people, various roles, run from one TV to another, from one radio, or sometimes run parts of presentations, because this has happened as well. Or we take you to the stage and you've got to answer our questions. Yes, precisely we do. Now we have a different problem. We were supposed to have 1,000 people and there are 2,000 of you. Yes, that's cool, but we had to increase the number of catering services. Yes, today there was such a thing with a great lecture. We had Jacek Dukaj lecturing for us and plenty of people wanted to watch him. So we had to make a hot swap and get him into a different room. We want everything to be pitch perfect, smooth, and we also want our system to be perfect. The system of assessing the speakers, there was a small change in it, and it's a big change, really. Well, no plan can survive standing against the reality. I believe that that's what organization is. Yes, you need plenty of flexibility, and you need to be capable of talking to people in difficult moments. We love the people who are waiting till the last day with registration. They say the app doesn't work, and of course, it's our work. It's our fault, the organizers. Yes, that's us. We were registering yesterday from the car. Good you're here. Good you're here. We're very glad you're here. Of course we are, and we help everyone. Do you have any accreditation? What for? We are the hosts. We hoped that the master champion of passive-aggressive is Władysław, but we see a new female champion here. Okay, what's the greatest challenge in organizing such an event? One thing that comes to your mind, this is the worst obstacle, hurdle to run through. Program, agenda, to meet your expectations, the expectations of the developers, because this is the most difficult, to attract the greatest people here, and that's very difficult because people are at their computers, they do a great job, but to go and tell what you do actually and how to share this knowledge? Oh, come on, that's not easy at all. So there are those people who you could think would make fantastic stars, and then unfortunately the lecture is only so-so. Okay, give me some meat. A drunk speaker or the worst problem, the worst botch. I believe it still had to come. The gala, looking. Where is he sitting? Where is she sitting? Are they with us? Do we have, for example, Michowski? I remember we were looking for Michowski one day. Kuba was late. Kuba, hello. We're saying hello to you, Kuba. You were late one day. So that's a challenge too. Okay, and that's not a faux pas because at the end everything works fine. Not always. There's also the speaker who breaks a leg. Well, we were trying, to give the first aid, and you succeeded. Of course we succeeded, haven't we? The only thing that was lame was the host.
My jesteśmy jakby zaprawieni w bojach, często to słyszymy.
We really weathered. I believe that my worst faux pas was in a different program. Usually it's in a different one. Okay, this is the night of the gala, the night of the fair, of the ceremony. It's all going on, but are you already planning another gala? What about the morning after? Is the morning after the moment when you have no time to sleep, to fight with different morning after syndromes, but you sit down and work? I believe that we have this hot file with everything that didn't work, and people write down their next year's decisions and resolutions. So we collect those to be able to be ready for everything, but I believe on Wednesday we're going to take it easy, because it's not so that we are ready to fight another battle once this has been over. So a moment's reflection, certainly. Okay, and then there is always a meeting. Once I was careless enough to go and see, and I said, oh, I've never realized that there are those details, and you were deciding what they are going to be. And they said, oh, Mr. President, I don't know if you're in the right place, because this is a Digital Dragons meeting. After an hour, I just gave up. Yes, we really work on every element. Do you already feel that that's it? Anya is, head and soul in it. Oh, most of my slogans are Digital Dragons. I'll have to change it perhaps, but until now it's been going like that. No numbers.
Jakby ktoś chciał się logować, to teraz...
If you wanted to log in, do it now.
Tylko teraz już nie
Do
wiem.
it now. You've got 30
Nie,
seconds
są
for
jeszcze
that.
tajemne znaki tam.
No, there are also those secret codes. I'm not saying what, because you'll enter them, some exclamation marks, and you'll be there. No way. I believe this is my proof of being really attached to the Digital Dragons. Do you agree with me? I am attached to them, of course. Anya told us recently, sitting on a couch, that she has no time to be a hardcore gamer. She had a lot of experience, for example, with The Sims. Łukasz, how about you? Are you a hardcore player for a change? No, for a change I'm not. Do you play at all? Yes, I do. Yeah, board games. Oh, so you are a player? I say that everyone is a player, but they haven't found their games yet. Well, I had a wine gross sales shop because I don't drink much alcohol. Now I help to develop games because I don't play them much, and that's why we can have this cool head, cold and detached attitude, so that all the Excel files work fine as well. Okay, fingers crossed for tonight, and fingers crossed generally for the following 10 years. So we thank for the 10 years that we've already done. Fantastic job, and I believe a great round of applause. It's a horrible task to do it, to have everything on time and on budget. And thank you for coming, for making it to this place. How about that?
Dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you.
A my teraz zabierzemy
And
was
let's
taką
now
krótką,
take you on
sentymentalną
a
podróż
short sentimental
naszym wehikułem
journey
czasu.
in
Przygotujcie
our
sobie chusteczki, proszę
time
uważać na
machine.
makijaż,
Get your
będziemy
handkerchiefs
wspominać.
ready and don't let your makeup get stained. Things are getting everywhere, so let's have those prizes in Poland as well. It was really the bullseye. The level was very high. It was not to be a local event for 15 local companies or regional companies, but a big one, regional, integrating the entire Polish sector, opening immediately to the world. These companies emphasized that they needed contact with foreign publishers, and that was persistent work of the KTP, inviting foreign guests. To me, it was most important to move to ICE Kraków Congress Center. That was this new breath and a new challenge, deciding step. Beautiful place, beautiful perspectives, prospects, great looks, and a great view. The sector had not been integrated. Everyone treated themselves as a competitor to the others. And that's why an attempt to do something jointly together for ourselves was approached quite skeptically. I believe that such events as Digital Dragons are priceless for the operation of such companies as ours, because you can't develop games in a void. Doing it good calls for contacts, permanent touch, and of course refreshing your knowledge. The Digital Dragons are 10, and all the best to you and to all the organizers. I had the pleasure of being at all of them from number one, and I must say that it always had this uniting dimension. It was a very important fixture in the game dev calendar. It's worth meeting there and develop your contacts and knowledge.
I would like to have such a statuette on my desk, as it looks really great, really kind of reminiscent of the Oscar prize. I think that the Dragons should be further developed, because this conference is really exceptional, and it used to be a very small event in the past, but now it's really meaningful. It's very significant both in the Polish and international arena. And I wish all of us and myself even more creativity, even more flow, and first and foremost, I wish all of us great relations with our community, with our players, because this is what we do for you, not for us. And after such recollections, indeed, tears may stand in our eyes. Amazing 10 years, and in the meantime, this industry has developed so much, and we're looking forward to the next decade of success. And since the very beginning, Digital Dragon was also about Kraków and this region. Józef Gawron, the Deputy Marshal of the Małopolska Voivodeship, and Robert Paskowski, the Plenipotentiary of the Mayor of the City of Kraków.
Muzyki filmowej.
There is this myth about a place in Central Europe where everything is possible and any moment of time may mean anything. We're going to take you into a journey you're not going to forget about, where imagination meets science, where entrepreneurship, creativity are ours, our unique Kraków experience. We did take a walk yesterday around this most beautiful city of Kraków in the Małopolski region. We would like to welcome the Deputy Marshal and the Plenipotentiary. Gentlemen, please join us on the sofa. Good evening. Hello.
Dzień dobry.
Ja to z zazdrością zawsze patrzę.
Well, I do envy.
Warszawiak, no, nie
As a Warszawian, you guys, because when I see what's happening here and how it has all developed, it's unbelievable how it's all developing. And that is why we're going to begin with a question, and perhaps both gentlemen will have time to give us an answer. Why the city of Kraków and this region have decided to support this creative industry? Let's begin with the Deputy Marshal. Well, our region has been with the Digital Dragons since the very beginning for 10 years, and we have always been supportive to Digital Dragons, and we have our own goal. The city of Kraków is a place where, indeed, we have this academic center that is training students and IT specialists and software specialists and computer graphic designers, and they constitute the fabric of people who drive towards new technology, drive towards new development. They do develop IT industry, and so there is this a potential for the impetus both for the city of Kraków and for the entire region. And indeed, this event has been supported by the regional authorities and by the municipal authorities, and we see the results of this activity. I'm so proud that this conference has developed so well, and it's got that swing that we can enjoy here at the ICE Center. I remember several years ago, we had that gala at the Manga Gallery. It was a somewhat smaller event. It was the third or the fourth year, but this scale, this swing shows that we are going the right way, and we see this great opportunity for all of us. Great, and so that's the regional point of view. And how about the city points of view? How about the city of Kraków? You are the proof that the creative city is the city that attracts, and the city that attracts talented people in all industries, from movie, literature, video games, architecture and design. So I think that Kraków is the city that is well saturated with talents in all these areas. You have mentioned Dukaj, but we're waiting for see the results of the success of Edgeman, and also games based on Lem stories. And we have given 120 awards in the field of literature, 100 scholarships. We also invest in digital arts, film, movie, animation. So all the more we speak about immersive development, we're talking about immersive virtual stage and how to use the capital best that is given to us by great, educated, creative, new citizens of our city. And we do see that, and we're happy that many industries have chosen the city of Kraków as their place of development, and gaming is one of those industries. And we can see that Kraków has taken a strong position in Poland. It shows our ambitions, it shows the way we want to develop, and we also see how important it is to give proper place to gaming in the strategy of the development of the city. Gaming should not be just one of the many industries that is being listed off with many other industries that need to be supported, but we need to give you, to deliver you the space, meeting space. And I'm so happy that we can meet here in this very much modest environment.
Tak jest.
Yes, indeed. Now, if Krakow is so very much an attractive place, but it's also an open place, and I have a question that consists of two parts. So, from the point of view of the decade, what do you think about the development of the creative industry, and what are the further plans for the future? Well, it is for a reason that we're here. Łukasz Sołoniowski was here. He represents the KPT, and we support everything that is related to creativity and developmental impulse. And indeed, Krakow is the best place for the development of the IT industry, and for the video. It's the best place for the development of the video gaming industry, and also it is a great opportunity to develop skills of fans of games. And this is a global phenomenon. If we look at the development of this industry, then we will see that this is a really fast pace of development. If we compare the video gaming industry with music industry and movie industry, if we look at the revenues generated by those industries, video gaming generates much more revenue, and therefore we would like to pursue this policy. However,
oczywiście jest, o ile obserwujemy, powstało tak wiele zespołów projektowych, tak wiele
although we do observe that we have so many teams and companies, graphic studios that deal with production, then it's also important to support with advertising, promotion, and give space for further development. This is where we want to help. And Robert, how about you? What is the future role of Kraków, and how does Kraków stand in the comparison with other cities? We see that there is this mutual inspiration. We live in this quite interdisciplinary, open, interactive world. The world, and if Richard Florida said that if this is the creative city, which is the city with a high level of tolerance and creative behemoth, then undoubtedly Kraków does meet all of these requirements. And have been introduced as a director of the FMF, Kraków Film Music Festival. I do remember the first concert is Final Fantasy. I remember the visit paid to Kraków by Bomaco, and I remember this high level of excitement when we were playing video gaming music, and until that time that music was not really known to me. In the meantime, we have already had staged 9 concerts at the Tauron Arena, where we had best soloists, best performers. When we played Emil Nun, Jeffrey Kidd was conducting those orchestras, and it was quite interesting for me to see that here we are in Tauron Arena playing great music, and we see the Oscar-like gala. It was showing a certain change in the perception of video games. Video games are no longer a niche just for the gamers only. Video gaming is not just a niche, it's a great space for investors, but not only, more than that. Now this is the key that helps us to understand the world, and all of these dragon eggs that we're going to give to the winners and the prizes, it all makes a point. This egg hatches into something new and something significant. This is life in Kraków. I would like to say that many people who are here, we see 2 gentlemen who are not in this industry, but this is what they say about our industry, and this is very much heartening. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Dziękuję naszym gościom.
Thank you. I would like to thank our guests and the boys. We are going to be back on the surface again, but right now we have a musical surprise, and the star of the evening of this 10th anniversary edition of the Digital Dragons Awards is Wojtek Urbański and Stanisław Słowiński, string instruments.
You're watching the Jubilee 10 Digital Dragons Awards. Time for the dishes, the main dishes. We're starting the ceremony of presenting the prizes in all the possible categories. Let's start from the special prizes. Well, number 10 is a nice birthday, so we will give it to the Indie Games of the Decade, artistic and commercial success, and connected to the former Digital Dragons Awards. Let's have our first guests, Kuba Wójcik and Anna Krampus-Sepielak.
Nagrodzony projekt
The
sukcesywnie
winning
wspina się po
project
szczeblach
has been climbing the rungs of Digital Dragons, growing in success together with us. It started from the first award in Indie Celebration, then the best game of 2020, which the team collected at the gala last year. Today we have the pleasure to announce their game and their studio, the best indie of the decade. We've gone through a long route, but every stop was absolutely deserved. I find it a very special project. I've met for the first time the team responsible for it 10 years ago at the first Digital Dragons. In the meantime, its members matured to a great success. The production is not only a good Polish game, but primarily a good game. This is a project whose first presentation had all the critics enchanted and made it to over 1 million players. Fantastic dynamic, great audio and video, and high skill level. The developers were brave in their visions and met the initial expectations. They were making a game that's ideal for our times. The game and the studio is the hardship of all the people. Could we have one more level here for their Ghost Runner?
Dobrze, to...
All right then. Well, perhaps I say that this prize is absolutely unexpected. I could have not been here. We're very surprised. It's a great pleasure. It's a fantastic project, that game. Despite all the hardships, we delivered it on time. And a great round of applause to One More Level. Well, it's not the whole group. There are many people from that group, however. So a big round of applause to those people, those folks, those chaps.
I dziękuję bardzo wszystkim. To jest
And
wyjątkowa
thank you very
akcja.
much.
Dziękujemy.
It's an absolutely unbelievable and incredible moment. Thank you very much. One person must stay with us on the couch. We'll do some chatting, we'll collect some emotions that accompany collecting such a fantastic prize.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry,
Hello,
gratulacje.
congratulations, congratulations
Znowu się
again.
widzimy, tak.
Znowu się widzimy, tak już kolekcja tych
We
jajek
see
zaczyna robić, tak?
one another again, and you've got quite a collection of those eggs. Yes, yes. You should have a shelf already. We've got 2 in the office, yeah. You probably have space for that and for more, because this is a hot game, really. A hot title enjoyed by everyone, but we all want to know when you will continue, when number 2 comes. And the production has been launched, it's in full fling. When? A bit of a secret, but we will be showing something soon. You made a game that is strongly game playable. Are you going to move away from the gameplay and add some narrative? Some, yes, not a lot, but we know that this is of course a play-driven game, but in the sequel we would like to have some more space for the story. I wonder if you had statistics how many gamepads were destroyed while working on the first one. I have one number in my head. When we had demo on Steam, for a week there were more than 100,000 people and they died more than 6 million times. So I don't know how many pads were destroyed. Oh, the producers of those are probably already are
Gra się
hot
udała,
on pursuit
ale
on that.
to nigdy tak nie jest, że
The game
projekt
was very
wszystko
successful,
udaje. To
but
się
it's
nie
not
udało.
so that all things works in
nie
a project.
dowiedzieliście.
What failed? What did you fail to
Między
deliver?
innymi wspomniane przez ciebie
Well,
story było
for example, the
mocno
story that you
obcięte, to
mentioned
nie ma co
was
nie ma co
severely
ukrywać, że
severed.
Kiedy myśleliśmy o tym, co
Well,
możemy wyciąć,
quite
żeby
obviously, when we
zdążyć
were
na
thinking
czas,
what to
to
cut out to
cutsceny
have it on time,
i historie
cutscenes
troszeczkę
and
było
story
obcięte. To na
were
pewno
somewhat
możemy się z tym zgodzić.
reduced.
Też
Yes,
jesteśmy ze wszystkiego
we
dumni
are
w tej
not
grze, bo wiemy, że pewne
proud
rzeczy
with
dało się
everything in
zrobić
that
lepiej.
game. Certain things
Mieliśmy
could
też
have been
wsparcie
done better.
popremierowe, gdzie
We
seria
also
dodatków
had
wychodziła,
some
no i ten
support,
główny
some
dodatek Project
follow-ups
Hell, który
were
wyszedł w
Project
marcu.
Hell
I już
from
sporo
March.
wniosków z
Already
bazowej gry
includes
wyciągnęliśmy i
quite a lot of
sporo tych zmian
conclusions
jest
from the
widocznych właśnie w DLC.
basic game, and you can see a lot of things there. Yes, we've heard about that. If you haven't played Project Hell, this is the proper version, version 1.5.
Na wojnie pierwszą ofiarą
Well,
jest prawda, tak? A w game devie pierwszą ofiarą jest story. w takim
In game dev, the first victim is story, as we see.
Przynajmniej jeśli robimy grę opartą na
At
gameplayu,
least
tak
when
mocno
we
jak Ghost Runner.
base it on gameplay as much as Ghost Runner. While developing this game, is there time and space to consider? Perhaps that should be after the premiere. Where does this popularity come? How come it's you? How come it's the players love you? But I see the
Nie wiem, może
same
właśnie
among the
wydaje
jury,
mi się, że
among the press.
Spore znaczenie miało to, jak
I
tę grę
think
też
it was
promowaliśmy, w jaki
quite
sposób,
important how
jak
we
docieraliśmy do
promoted
graczy,
that
czy to na
game, how
eventach
we
jeszcze, jak się
reached
odbywały na
those
żywo, czy też
people,
później poprzez dema
events,
streamowe,
and later
poprzez to, jak
at
community
those demos,
speedrunnerskie
how
dostrzegło
the
Ghost Runnera
speedrunner
i
community
na
noticed it.
Twitterze troszeczkę tak zawrzało
And
i
on
zaczęli
Twitter,
się
we
ci
were
główni
really very
speedrunnerzy,
hot.
najlepsi
The
speedrunnerzy
main
z Titanfalla, czy
speedrunners
tych
from
dużych tytułów zaczęli
Titanfall and
grać w naszą
others
grę.
started to play our
I tak
game.
kroczek po kroczku
And step by
doszliśmy do
step,
tego momentu,
we
gdzie ta wishlista nam
made
bardzo
it.
napuchła na Steamie
This
i byliśmy w
wishlist
stanie tak
really
naprawdę
grew,
osiągnąć
and
sukces
we were
dzięki temu.
capable of being
Myślicie o
successful
jakimś
thanks to that.
Inaczej, czy myślicie w ogóle o
Do
odejściu
you
od Ghost
think
Runnera,
about
od
moving away
innego-
from Ghost Runner, doing something else than that
Myślimy-
title now?
Pewnie tak, pewnie na
Well,
jakimś etapie
yes,
myślimy o tym,
perhaps
co
we
dalej.
do.
w którą
We're
stronę
thinking
możemy
where
pójść,
to
jak
go
rozwijać też firmę, bo
now,
nasza
how
firma
to
ciągle
develop the
rośnie,
company. The
rozwija
company
się,
is
rośniemy też,
developing.
jeśli chodzi o liczbę
We also
osób,
growing
które
in
są
the number
zaangażowane
of
w projekt.
people involved in the
Sequel nam
project.
troszeczkę
The
bardziej
sequel
monumentalny
is
też,
supposed
ale
to
my
be a bit
traktujemy to
more
jako
monumental, but we
ewolucja,
treat
a nie
it
rewolucja.
as
O, właśnie,
evolution,
pytanie
not
w kwestii
revolution.
rozwoju studia. Czy
Okay,
planujecie
question
się
about the
rozwijać
studio developing. Do you
geometrycznie, czy
plan to
planujecie-
do it
macie jakiś
geometrically?
ilość osób,
or
którą chcecie osiągnąć i
perhaps
potem
a
nie
number of
rozwijać,
people
żeby
you
zatrzymać
want to
właśnie
have and then stop developing
konkretny zespół
to keep
zadaniowy.
that specific task
Raczej taki
force?
racjonalny rozwój to jest coś, co
It's
robimy,
rather
czyli
rational development
uważnie
that we
planujemy rekrutację,
want.
przyglądamy się
We
wszystkim
plan the
kandydaturom
recruitment,
i zdecydowanie chcemy mieć odpowiednie osoby na
and
odpowiednich miejscach.
we want
więc,
to have appropriate
to nie jest
people
tak,
at
że nagle
appropriate
wzrośniemy
seats.
dwukrotnie,
We're not developing,
powoli, stopniowo budujemy sobie
doubling
zespół, który będzie
the
mógł robić
human resources. We're
jakościowe
just
produkcje.
working with people who will be able to make quality productions. There's still plenty of stage empty when you're here, but we'll manage to get you on the stage even when you double your ranks. I believe there will be reasons to enjoy if you employ people. There are those cameras, those red lamps.
Już widzieliście, że
Come on.
Kraków jest super.
Well, you
więc
know
ten
that
level
Kraków
też
is great, so the company is fantastic as well. Okay, perhaps the city's atmosphere makes makes those games develop this way, not any other, and you can be successful in that matter. We have a great day today, 10 years of Digital Dragons. What are your earliest memories?
Ja mam bardzo dobre
of the
wspomnienia z
gala.
Digital Dragons, bo
I
też byłem
have
dosyć na wszystkich
very good
edycjach
memories
tutaj.
of the Digital
Pamiętam,
Dragons.
kiedy
I've
jeszcze
been to
przychodziliśmy
all
tutaj
the
z taką
editions.
mobilną
I remember we
grą
were
na
coming here with
iPadzie,
this mobile
szukaliśmy
little
pierwszych
game on an
znajomości,
iPad,
kontaktów.
looking for first
Także mam
contacts,
świetne wspomnienia i
friends.
to też
So
to, ile
the memories
znieśliśmy
are
z tych
great,
eventów, ile nie tylko
and
znajomości, ale też wiedzy, to
all
jest
we
ogromna
have
rzecz,
from those
która miała
events, not only
gigantyczny wpływ
friends,
na to, jak
but
się nasze
also
studio rozwinęło.
know how it greatly
Niestety kończy nam się
helped
czas na
us
rozmowę,
develop.
więc pozostaje
Our
nam jeszcze
time
raz
is
pogratulować.
nearly
Dziękuję.
over, so we
Drugiego
congratulate you with your second egg. Another egg. Once again, a great big round of applause. Don't forget your egg. One more level, Ghost Runner.
Pierwszy smok opuścił gniazdo. Gratulujemy
Okay, the
nagrodzonym.
first
Za chwilę
dragons
wręczymy
hatched.
kolejne nagrody.
Now some more in the
nastąpi,
nest,
poznajcie proszę
and
skład
you'll have them
tegorocznego
presented.
jury. To
But
są
before
właśnie ci
that,
ludzie,
let's
do
see
których
the
możecie
jury.
składać
The
ewentualne
jury
reklamacje.
are the people to whom you can
Łukasz
complain.
Gołąbiowski, Ringer
Łukasz
Axel Springer,
Gołąbiowski,
Poland,
Ringel Axel
przewodniczący
Springer
jury.
Poland,
Mariusz
the
Borkowski,
president
Game
Mariusz
Music
Borkowski, Game
Mateusz
Music PL,
Witczak,
Mateusz
Polski
Witczak,
GameDev.pl,
Polish GameDev
Paweł
PL,
Węgrzyn,
Paweł
Uniwersytet
Węgrzyn,
Jagielloński,
Jagielloński University, Michał
PSX
Król,
Extreme, Marcin
Wronka, ustatkowany gracz,
Ola
Ola Olszar,
Six
Six Colors of the Games,
Marzena
Marzena Falkowska,
Altergranie,
Altergranie,
Roger
Żochowski,
PPE.pl,
PPE.pl,
Łukasz Warna-Wiesławski,
and Łukasz
Festiwal
Warna-Wiesławski
Muzyki
Film
Filmowej.
Music
Oddaję
Festival.
głos, Tadkowi
And
Radkowi,
now
którzy
let's
zostaną
have a
nominowani w
nominee,
kategorii
Radek,
Best Polish
which
Game
game
Art.
has been
Która
the
gra jest
best, which
najpiękniejsza?
has had the best
Panowie?
Polish game art in them.
The Chronicles of Myrtana are Holos, the Chronicles of Myrtana team.
Chernobylite, The Farm 51.
Papetura, Petums.
The Medium, Bluebird Team.
Last from Beyond, Movie Games Lunarium.
I jeszcze jedna gra powalczy o statuetkę Game Deck Answer Studios.
And Ansher Studios is also going to fight for this statuette.
Zapraszamy na scenę
Mateusz Witczak,
który wręczy
who will
nagrodę w
present
kategorii Best
the award
Polish
in
Game
the
Art.
category Best Polish Game Art.
Przyszło mi, no chyba mogę powiedzieć,
Well,
zaszczytem wręczyć nagrodę dla gry
I
najpiękniejszej.
have the honor to give the award for the most beautiful game.
Zwróciłbym uwagę, że
And
mam
looking at
dłuższą
these projects,
tradycję
there is
niż Digital Dragons.
there is even a longer tradition than Digital Dragons because we're talking about a really long-standing game that taught us how to deal with the limitations of archaic technology. I'm talking about the Medium that was created a long time ago by Bluebird team in their pioneering project that was developing in the mind of Babieno many years ago. And somewhere here there is Tomasz Ostakin is here in the room, our soloist, and for many years he was creating in his free time, leisure time. So many thanks for creating beautiful games and making them beautiful. And quite recently found out that our industry is the second largest as far as the rate of designers ladies are concerned. So girls, bravo goes to you. You're great. Many thanks. And every 10th person is a foreigner. And what is more, and I can say that as a LGBT+, we have in you not only our partners, but you are our allies. And I would like to thank you for being our men and women allies. And I know who has won, but the organizers gave me a mission impossible to make an announcement of the game without ever mentioning the name of the studio. So I have to speak about an illusory project without mentioning the name ever. So I've seen a magazine or two, so I can do it. Just let me have a peep into my papers if indeed who the winner is. And the winner is whoever he is. And you're just about to find out. So there were some expectations with regard to the artists. Could the studio do that? And maybe the developers failed, or maybe they have not. And the studio has actually managed to publish yet another game to be awarded. And generally speaking, in Poland, we have a plethora of awards, and undoubtedly this game is a spiritual follower of a certain genre. That is an adventure that one can live have. And the first thing is the beautiful game, and the resolution and the objects, animation and objects are impressive indeed. And let me add, and the sounds of the instruments are flowing into our ears from a soundtrack, and we may attribute them even to some of the musical genres. And undoubtedly, the sound engineer should be mentioned, just the location design, because all of the locations have been designed, and all of the, in fact, all of the protagonists follow your instructions. Sometimes they do stupid things, sometimes like standing in place, unless they are not supposed to be standing in place. And it should be said that the plot is one of the features of the game, although I don't want to be a spoiler. It's all about a person, or maybe it is not, and that person is in a certain location, or maybe not. And as far as playability is concerned, you can play it, and sometimes it's kind of a bug, although sometimes there are some bugs during the game. Some bugs are serious, some are not. Glitches don't help. Sometimes the liquidity becomes all too slow, but at least the authors have been able to create certain mechanical movement which I have not been able doing so. So I do recommend this game, and the game in mind is The Medium of the Bluebird team from Kraków.
Partitura? Okej, mamy pewien problem.
Is there a problem?
Pomyliłem kategorię.
You presented the wrong category. Oh, I presented the wrong category. Oh. So the medium is going to be back onto the stage, don't worry. The medium shall be back. The medium shall be back. But somehow it will be cut out from the final movie. Okay, sorry guys, sorry. Kind of you know what to do. See you guys. See you, bye-bye, we're off.
Było bardzo blisko.
It was a close shave.
Gratuluję, w pełni zasłużone.
Congratulations, undoubtedly you are the winner.
Dzięki wam, dzięki.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Actually, I was so happy to see the medium winning in this category. I simply don't like speaking in public, and therefore I was really hoping they would win, but generally speaking, I'm so surprised, I'm mega surprised, because I'm just a guy, a solo guy, and Tomasz Dvořák has helped me, and Irm Bravet, those are the Czechs who are responsible for the soundtrack and for the sound effects. And I actually feel much better in the smaller events, but winning, getting a prize at Digital Dragons is actually having a dream come true. Thank you so much. Mateusz, don't you worry, you have been great, amazing. You almost made it, Congratulations, and actually, so we have a faux pas, and we have like an Oscar Gala, you know, at the Oscar Galas we have some of the glitches, yes, even the best can have something imperfect. Anyway, so it's like a game of chances, and indeed your production process has taken many years, but first and foremost I think that everyone is impressed. You have put in so much heart in all those cutouts, as we say. I have an auxiliary question. How on earth have you done it in so many years? I mean, it took so many stamina. I'm surprised I've pulled it off, but but there was time when I had to finish it off. And then, generally speaking, of course, it could have taken much more time than that. And for the first time ever, I finally went to Prague, and there, Jakub confirmed that they have been doing a game for a couple of years, and I thought it would be released next year. And then he said, no, it will take us many more years. And that's the attitude I actually like, because there is no pressure. You're just working on something that is yours, something that is cool, something that's got this value of not being done in a hurry. The value of something being done not in a hurry. So you are titled to master right now. You're a game dev. So are you going to pursue this path of being a game dev? Well, I've been thinking whether I should put game dev on my Facebook profile, and perhaps your mother would be scared of. Used to be a graphic designer. I've been a guy knowledgeable of 3D visualizations. This is how I've been earning my money. But I see that everything has actually went well, although it was not that obvious to begin with. Then I think that I will actually move on this path of being a game dev, and I will work on more games. You seem to be a very calm person. Only on the outside. Only on the outside, but you're prepared for everything, we can see that.
Mówisz o spełnianiu marzeń, a
You're talking about your dreams coming true. So what do you feel about this moment? You've got this digital dragon. That's the prize so many people are craving for. And, well, there is one more dream coming true, in fact. In San Francisco, Puppet was awarded for graphics, so it was also quite something to be awarded there in San Francisco. So it's like winning a lottery, getting a jackpot, that you have this idea and this idea hits the jackpot, and there are so many people who are dealing with that and they like it. I think that this idea has already been explored. A paper-based game. There used to be games that were being developed with different materials like stop-motion technique, and there were paper-based games as well. Something made this game special, although I don't quite know what. But where was the idea? Where does the idea come from? I mean, how did you come here? I mean, what were the beginnings? The idea? Well, probably the first thing to do is to write an autobiography, and partially this is the case as far as the plot is concerned, but using the paper, I was using architectonic mock-ups, and that's from the days of my studies at the university. I really like the paper, working with paper, because I believe that paper can render more than we think. Because paper gives us a possibility of playing with space, like sculpture. It's difficult to explain right now, but you're doing well, you're doing well. Yes, that's right. But apart from that, it's cheaper. Come on, it's just cheaper.
Czyli gra wyszła na swoje.
So, you had a good payback time. Yes, that was it. After so many awards, now we can look for a box edition. So how about being a soloist? Are you going to stop being a soloist? Are you going to have a team? I would love to. I would love to. Again, cameras, please, so you can invite people to join you. Yes, I do invite the fans and fanaticists of such experiential development. I'm not so good with programming, though.
Jest programistów.
Tak.
So yes, I need a software specialist, I do.
Moim konikiem jest grafika, tak?
I deal with graphics. That's my cup of tea. I feel good with graphics. And as far as the other things are concerned, I had to learn, unfortunately, for many years, and I'm still learning.
Sterowanie na Switcha, także
I'm trying to understand now how Switch controlling works. Well. So what's the next game going to be all about? Are you already playing with your new game? Are going cutting it out? I'm still thinking. So you are not yet thinking about the new game. Well, the point is,
zapełniony troszkę notatnik.
I've got a notebook. In my notebook, I've got a sketcher too, but it's far from the idea. But I'd like to focus now on designing. I would like to design a good gameplay because Paptoro looks good. And you can play the game
Nie chcę się zbytnio wysilać, że tak powiem.
effortlessly, so to speak.
Także w tej warstwie będę próbował.
So this is exactly where I'm trying to try out new things, better things. I tried to invite Tomek to join the FOPA, and he told us that he was not so good with giving interviews. And look, there you are. I mean, you're really great with giving interviews. Have I passed the test? It was just the coaching. It was just the training. Get used to it, man. Get used to it. You lost when playing with yourself because we won playing with you. Just a great thing. Congratulations. It's been great to talk to you. Congratulations. Don't forget the award. Pick it up. Many thanks.
Lekko nie było, ale
It wasn't
wiemy, kto
easy,
zgarnął
but
statuetkę
at least
w
we
kategorii
know who
najlepszy koncept
wins
graficzny.
the
Ale ciężko
best
wybrać
graphic
grę
concept
bez
statuette, but
poprawy
it would be
muzycznej.
hard to
Zaraz
have
powiemy
no
nominowanych w tej
music.
kategorii.
Okay,
Oto
the
Best
nominees
Polish Original
for the
Soundtrack.
best Polish original soundtrack are
The Chronicles of Myrtana, Archolos, Kamil Jędrzejewski, Szymon Nawrocki, Andantes Inferno.
The Medium, Akira Yamaoka, Arkadiusz Rejkowski.
Czernobylite, Mikołaj Stroiński.
Game Deck, Piotr Musiał, Maciek Dobrowolski, Marcin Przybyłowicz, Magdalena Urbańska.
Rustler, Paweł Czerwiński, Krzysiek Kowal, Kacper Niezabitowski, Cornelius Link.
I Against the Storm, Mikołaj Kurpios.
Znamy już nominowanych.
We
Pora
know the
przekonać się,
nominees.
kto był
Time
najlepszy.
to learn
Na scenę
who
zapraszam
was
Roberta
the best.
Piaskowskiego i
May
Mariusza
I
Borkowskiego,
invite
czyli ekspertów od
Robert
muzyki
Piaskowski
filmowej i
and
growej.
Mr. Borkowski, experts in film and game music.
Sprawdzam na wszelki wypadek.
Just making sure. Sorry, Mateusz, you are my idol. I will never be better than you are. Finally, 10 years into that, I can say something to the microphone. And I'll try to be very brief. I'd like to thank the Digital Dragons organizers that several years ago they agreed for that category. And in this way, we can honor the composers of video games music. Thank you very much for that. Thank you for the trust. The prize that is going to make it to a composer or plural composers must be presented to music that is, well, mysterious, perhaps, but we also match it with the picture. The picture is always matched by the script and the creative process, so it's a great pleasure for us that this prize is going in a moment to make it to certain hands, but let's remember one more thing. The composer would not have been here if not for many great people like Las Ninja and Ben Douglas. That's 1986. It was Commodore 64 game, and Yuzo Koshiro, who did Street Rage 2, who composed music to that game and also for special consoles. So it's a great pleasure. Robert, would you add something? I believe that this is a very good moment for a little announcement before we heat up the atmosphere. At the FMF we played music by many composers from Poland and all over the world, and for many years we were reflecting whether the Polish soundtrack of the year should also have a video game. And then we said no, we must bring together our forces with Digital Dragons. So it's a great pleasure for me to announce that the winner in this category will be invited to next year's Film Music Festival. So I'm waiting for this announcement because we will have to produce an appropriate suite so that our audience loves it. Now I'm inviting you for next year's edition. The Digital Dragons for the best Polish original soundtrack goes to The Medium, Akira Yamoka and Arkadiusz Rejkowski.
Mega zaszczyt.
It's an absolute honor. It's the second music egg that we're getting. The first was for Layers 2. Double honor. Of course, it goes also to Akira Yamoka, who's not here with us. Thank you very much. Thank you, Blobber team, for this great trust. Real cauldrons of trust. We had plenty of creative freedom on that, and it also goes to our audio team. Filip Żegleń, Adam Rudzki, Mikołaj Buszko. Without their work and without the synergy we had while working on the medium, there would be no soundtrack that we have. Thank you very much.
Prosimy. No, na pewno? Sprawdziłeś?
You sure? You sure? There's everything yours. Yes? Signed?
Dzień dobry.
Yes, it's mine. Done. Hello, hello.
Na kanapę. Ty jesteś
Okay,
akurat prawie stałym
take a
gościem.
seat on that couch. You're a regular on it. You know how to sit there, how to talk to us.
Oczywiście pamiętasz, jak
Yes,
nagrywaliśmy
you remember how we were recording you.
u nas.
No,
Najpierw
you
tylko pokonałeś
forgot.
trasę do nas, teraz
First
my mamy
you
tę
came
przyjemność,
to us,
drugą
and
stronę
now we
przyjechać
came to
do
you,
Krakowa
to Kraków,
i porozmawiać.
Jest
and to
taki
talk to
mem
you. There is that meme
z Friendsów, z
from
Phoebe, która
Friends.
mówi
3B
do Joeya. I ona tak mu powtarza
addresses
rzeczy i on
Joey,
po
and
niej
she
powtarza. I tak,
repeats things to him, and then he repeats,
pamiętaj,
remember,
żeby
that
powiedzieć
you say
dźwiękowi o
to
nowym
the sound
featurze, o
people,
nowym
to the
featurze.
sound people about
Pamiętaj,
the
żeby
new
powiedzieć,
feature.
Nie mów niczego o nowym featurze
Don't tell
dźwiękowi. Tak? Czy to jest prawda?
anything
Czy
about the new
rzeczywiście
feature to the
jesteście
sound
zawsze
people.
na końcu?
Are you always
Do
the
was jakby tam
last
spływają
at the
te
very
rzeczy,
end,
które już zostały zrobione
and
przez
you really the cesspit of the things that others have done?
Ale to jest prawda, faktycznie.
We fight with that, but that's true, and I don't believe it's ever going to end. But the situation is a bit different when we work from the square one. When you don't jump the bandwagon at the very end, there are new features developed, everything is really close. But yes, that's something that happens often, unfortunately. And unfortunately, this is a specific feature of our work. I love those anecdotes that the hardest talks during the pandemic is to talk to the audio people because their microphones never work. Is it so with you?
Tak.
The
Jak się
microphone.
łączysz na kola.
Yes, when you have a
swoją
call, you
teorię
connect to
na
a
ten
call. I have my
No
theory
właśnie,
about
wy
it.
macie taką ilość rzeczy
No,
podłączonych do
you've
tego
got so
komputera,
many
że nie ma
things
szansy.
connected to the computer
Tak,
that
tak,
you
tak,
won't
Tak,
make
po
it.
prostu wiesz, to jest już kwestia
You
dźwiękowca
see,
chyba. Mamy
it's the
30
question of a
wejść
sound
dźwiękowych
guy.
i
We have
czasem się coś
30
przestawi, trzeba
in
szukać, nie?
channels
No,
and
to nie
things
jest
may
jakiś tam
get
problem chyba.
reswitched.
Czyli robienie
May
muzyki
need to
do
get
gier jest trudne.
reswitched. Is it difficult to make music
Jest
for the
trudne.
games? It is
Jest trudne. Ja
difficult.
zawsze
Yes,
miałem
it
taką
is
teorię,
difficult.
że
I've always
robienie
had that
muzyki do gier jest
theory
trudniejsze
that
niż robienie
it's
muzyki do
harder
filmu.
than to make
Bo
it
w filmach
for
muzyka jest
the
liniowa,
films.
prawda? I
In the
bardziej
film,
płyniemy z
it's
obrazem
linear. You flow
malujemy
with the
sobie
picture,
pejzaż.
you paint your landscape,
No a w grach jakby
and
trzeba
in the
przewidzieć wiele
games
sytuacji.
you need
Muzyka jest często
to
adaptacyjna.
foresee so many situations.
I
Music
trzeba
is very
jakby wziąć
often
pod uwagę
adaptative,
to, co gracz
and you
ewentualnie
need to
może zrobić,
consider
co tej
what
muzy jest
a
więcej.
player can do.
Dużo więcej niż
There
niż
is
do filmu.
far
Także
more
tak,
music
myślę, że to
than
jest skomplikowany
for
proces,
a
szczególnie,
film.
tak
So the
naprawdę
process
teraz,
is
gdzie
very complicated, especially now
wiecie, gry się
that,
strasznie
you
rozwijają.
know,
O tym mówimy
games
też
have
dzisiaj
developed
między innymi, nie?
greatly. That's what
To
we're
wszystko idzie do
talking
przodu
about
i to są
today.
ogromne produkcje,
It's going
setki minut,
forward. These are
muzy.
huge productions, hundreds of
Skomplikowany
minutes
proces.
of
Udało się
music,
dziś wieczorem upiec
complicated
wypieczenie na jednym
problem.
ogniu, bo oprócz
Okay, we did
statuetki
two
Digital
things
Dragons
at a
jeszcze
one
występ
go,
na Festiwalu Muzyki
Digital
Filmowej
Dragons,
w
and
Krakowie.
also you'll
Czeka
get
ciebie
your
i
time
Akirę
at
przy okazji.
the Film Music Festival in Kraków.
No,
It's for you
Mamy
and
nadzieję, że
Akira, by the way.
Niesamowicie interesujące.
Przybędzie.
It's
Mam
going to
nadzieję,
be
że
intensive.
przybędzie.
We
Powiedz,
hope
jakie
he's
wyzwania,
coming. Tell me,
towarzyszyły.
what
Co było
challenges
najtrudniejsze
were
w
there? What
pracy?
was the
No bo
most
tak,
difficult
jeżeli siedzisz sam i
working?
komponujesz, to
When you're
wszystko masz w
sitting
głowie,
there
tutaj jeszcze
on your
musisz się
own
z
composing,
kimś podzielić
you've got
się
it
tą pracą.
all
Czy to
in
było
your
trudne,
head.
żeby
Here
się
you
dogadać,
had
żeby
to
złapać właśnie ten-
share the burden.
ten
Was it
pomysł jeden
difficult
wspólny?
to just catch this
No
one
było
idea,
trudne.
one idea
Słuchajcie,
for
to jest tak,
both
że,
of you? Well, it was
też
difficult,
Akira
it was
jakby, no,
hard.
miał do czynienia
Akira
z marką Silent Hill już
had
lata temu.
access to
Więc,
Silent Hill years
no, najpierw trzeba było
before.
się dotrzeć i to
So
trwało długo,
we
żeby
needed,
wejść na ten
you know,
właściwy tor i
get
wejść
the
w ogóle
vibes,
w tryb
to
pracy do,
just get
do
into
czegoś
the
nowoczesnego,
mood
do
for
takiego
work
robienia
on
muzyki,
something
jak się
that's
robi-
modern,
jak się robi
making
teraz, więc to
music
trochę zajęło
as
tam
you do
na
it
tym
now.
przegadywania,
So
ale no,
yes,
jakby
that
no,
was time consuming, you know, to
ostatecznie udało na szczęście.
understand each other,
Cytując
but
klasyka,
we've
ja
been
się ciągle
successful.
uczę, że tak
Yep.
samo jest z kompozytorami,
as
że
a Polish
kompozytorzy
classic
ciągle
said, I
komponują,
keep on
nawet w środku
learning.
nocy,
It's the same
wiesz,
with
przychodzi nawena
composers.
i
You
siadasz,
know, you
piszesz,
just
rozpisujesz,
get
robisz notatki,
your
nagrywasz.
inspiration and you go on. You like Freddie Mercury. You sleeping under your piano, and
Czasem zasypiam w
it's
studiu.
just at
Nie,
your
ja
hand.
muszę- ja
I fall
mogę
asleep in the
komponować tylko
studio
wtedy, jak pada
actually.
deszcz i jest
Now I
ciemno.
can only do it when it's dark and raining. Ha
Każdy
ha
ma
ha.
swoje jakieś...
No, you know, everyone's
Nie,
got their
słuchajcie,
own
nie, wydaje mi się,
tricks.
że to jest kwestia tak
Now I
naprawdę
believe
pracy,
it's really the
kwestia projektu.
question
Bo jak
of
coś jest
your project
inspirującego i
work.
robimy fajne rzeczy,
If it's inspiring, if
jako
we do
team, to,
cool things as a
to nie jest to
team,
trudne i po prostu
it's no
łatwo wskoczyć
difficult
od
at
samego
all,
rana
and it's
do
easy, you know,
pracy.
to
Nie jest
jump
to-
that
nie
bandwagon
jest to zależne
immediately.
chyba od tego, co tam się
I
dzieje na zewnątrz.
don't
tak dalej,
think
no nie? Czy zawsze
it
się was
is
można znaleźć
in
do-
any way conditional
pracy.
Mi się
on
najlepiej pracuje
what's
między
outside.
12 a 5 rano, więc
I love
to nie było pytanie
working
bez...
most from midnight till
Między 5
5
a
a.m.
12
and I like from 5 a.m. to 12,
Tak,
not by
dokładnie.
night. So
Tak to wygląda. No dobrze, no to tak.
that's what our
medium
habits are.
odhaczone. Co
Okay,
teraz?
the medium done, and what
To jest ten
now?
problem z game devem, że my
That's the problem with game dev, that we can't say anything, really anything.
Słuchajcie, no nie,
But
no myślę, że
listen,
będą
no,
fajne
I
rzeczy
believe there
do-
are going to be cool
do
things
pokazania.
played, and
Nad iloma,
we'll
dobra,
have them
inaczej,
for
nad iloma
show.
projektami teraz
Okay, how many
ten
projects have you got
Wyjdziemy.
before you on your drawing board? Tell me. Let's do it this way.
liczysz teraz.
He's counting. Hey, he's counting. Are you ready?
Zobaczymy. Coś tam będzie
We'll see.
ciekawego.
We'll see. There will be interesting. He's not telling.
Gatunek
He's hopeless.
zmienisz, czy to
At
dalej
least
są
you'll
horrory?
change
Nie, ale
your
wiesz, to nie
genre
jest
or
tak, że
horror
ja robię
still.
tylko do horrorów.
No, I
nie?
don't only do horrors.
Wspólnie z
Well,
Blurami skupiliśmy się na takich...
Here we
Znaczy, nie
focused
do końca
on
lubię
those,
nazywać, że to
but
są tylko
I
horrory,
don't
no nie? Bo
like
są
to
takie
call them
gry
horror only
storytellingowe,
because these are storytelling
dramaty z
games.
fajnym przesłaniem.
Dramas with a cool message,
Ale, no, nie
but
znajdziecie tam jak
now
bardzo
you'll
soundtracki
find some
potrzebne.
other soundtracks as well.
Będzie coś słowiańskiego.
There's going to
niebawem
be
pewnie.
something Slavic
No,
soon,
zobaczymy.
perhaps.
Będziemy, wiesz,
We'll
będziemy
see.
udostępniać.
You'll see,
To ja mam jeszcze
and
jedno
we'll
pytanie,
make it accessible to you. Okay, one more
Będziesz na
question
festiwalu
from
muzyki
me.
filmowej.
Will you go to the Film
Muzyka
Music
filmowa.
Festival?
Czy jest to jakiś
film
dla
music.
ciebie możliwa ścieżka
Is
kariery?
that
czy
a
jakby
potential
przeniesienie się
path
z
of your
gamingu
career,
do
moving from
Czy interesowało cię
game
to?
dev to
Wiesz co, jak najbardziej
film?
ja
Would you be interested?
stworzyłem muzykę
By all
do jednego
means.
filmu,
I've already written
wydanego
music
przez
to
Lionsgate,
one
The
film.
Legacy of Lies.
It
I to była
was
bardzo
Legacy
fajna
of
przygoda,
Lies
chociaż
from
ja muszę przyznać, że ja osobiście
Lionsgate.
jestem graczem.
I am a
i
gamer,
uwielbiam gry.
player, and I
To był mój cel
love
od samego
games.
początku.
That's
To może
been
poza
my
anime jeszcze, bo
goal
mnie
from the
osobiście bardzo
start.
fascynują,
Perhaps next to anime.
soundtracki do anime i
I'm
takie
fascinated by anime
mega kreatywne
soundtracks
podejście, które
and that
oni tam często
absolutely
są
most creative approach
mega
that they
jakby
have, that they
oryginalne rzeczy,
feature.
których oni się tam
Those
podejmują w
original
soundtrackach.
things
To
they
mnie
do
bardzo,
in
bardzo
those
kręci.
soundtracks.
Ale
Yes,
gry to
that
jest
really
moja miłość,
gets
więc ja myślę, że
my
tutaj
clock
nie
ticking,
ma co
but
tego zmieniać.
games
Jeżeli
I
jakaś
love,
przygoda kolejna się
let's
pojawi z
not
filmem,
change
to bardziej,
that.
ale
If there's
gry to jest
another
zdecydowanie
film
to, w tym
adventure, why
branża się
not?
niesamowicie rozwija i
Well, the sector
działa
is
w
developing
super kierunku.
absolutely
Tylko jeżeli mamy
quickly,
tutaj w
and
przypadku
there's
filmów
a
taką historię
fantastic
linearną,
direction to go.
gry są
In
interaktywne i
the
muszą podążać
films, we
za
have
graczem,
linear
to znaczy,
stories,
że muzykę do filmu
and
pisze się łatwiej.
here
Można to
you
w ogóle
must
jakoś
follow
tak
the
wartościować
player. Is
w
it
takich kategoriach?
easier? Can you even use such a category?
jakby
Easier,
wszystko,
harder?
Współpraca
Well, you know,
zarówno przy filmach, jak i grach
cooperation
jest
on
wypadkową doświadczeń
films and on
teamu,
games
prawda?
is
I
just
tego, z kim się
a
współpracuje.
resultant
No,
of
wiadomo,
the
że jak się
experience of
pracuje
your
z reżyserem,
team and who
może
you
ta
work
współpraca być
with.
łatwa, może być
When you
ciężka,
work
nie?
with a
Ale przynajmniej jeśli chodzi o
director,
te
it can be
techniczne
easy,
rzeczy,
it can be hard,
to na pewno
but
w filmie jest
technicalities,
troszeczkę,
well,
troszeczkę mniej
in a
skomplikowanie,
film,
prawda?
there's
Bo
less
przy grach tworzy się tej
complexity.
muzyki dużo więcej
In
i
games,
trzeba
you produce
więcej-
far more
więcej
music,
rzeczy przewidzieć,
and you
nie?
need
Więc
to
organizowanie, szczególnie jeśli
foresee
chodzi o
more. So
organizowanie na
organization,
przykład sesji
well,
nagraniowych
organization, for
live
example, of
przy,
live recording
przy grach,
sessions
no to musimy mieć
for the
gotowe
games.
naprawdę
You
sporo
really need to
różnych,
have plenty of
wersji na
various
dane sytuacje, bo jeżeli tego
versions
nie mamy,
ready
no to mamy
for
problem.
a given situation. You don't have it,
Premierze, już
Houston,
premiery, jak już
we
nie ma
have a
czasu
problem.
zrobić czegoś nowego,
If there is no time to
i
do
to już nie
something
będzie podobne
new,
brzmienie, bo nie ogarnęliśmy tego za
you'll
pierwszym
never
razem i
have
tak dalej,
similar
i tak dalej,
sound
nie?
because we didn't get it the
techniczny
first
proces
time.
robienia muzyki
So
do
is
gier
it
niż do
more
filmów.
technical
jednak
to
można
do
sobie bardziej
games than
pofolgować,
films?
jakby
You
bardziej
can
podżemować, tak powiem,
just
niż
jam it
Troszeczkę
a bit
tak,
more?
wiesz,
A bit so, a bit so, yes, but it also depends on how much it's the director who can take it, how much they like the vision, because if they like the composer, then they can take it easy. It all depends on how you cooperate. But as I said, in the
malujemy stricte pod obraz.
film,
W grach
you
jest
paint
to-
it
jest to adaptacja.
linearly,
I
straight
przy
for the
okazji też
picture.
muzyka liniowa, bo
Here
mamy przecież
it's
cutsceny,
adaptation
więc przy
plus
okazji,
line
oprócz tego,
for
że
the
w samym medium było chyba
cutscenes.
1,5 godziny,
Well, Medium
1,5 godziny
was, I
cutscene.
believe, one
Więc
and a
mamy
half
film, a
cutscenes.
oprócz
So
tego mamy
there's the
również
film,
gameplay, mamy dwa
but there's
światy,
also
prawda?
gameplay.
Mamy różne
There are two
sytuacje,
worlds,
mamy,
different
bo tu akurat
situations.
mieliśmy jedną końcówkę, no nie?
Well, we
Czasem trzeba
only
przewidzieć,
have one ending,
co
one
się
closing
wydarzy i
here,
tak
but
dalej.
sometimes you need to
No
guess
i muzyka
what's
musi mieć
going
też
to
wpływ
happen,
na-
and music
na
must
gameplay,
also
nie? I na odwrót.
influence gameplay and the other way around. Can you play some works that your friends have made, or do you always pay attention to it and you say, hey, this music sets in too early, or asking how did they do it? Unfortunately, that's it. I had it with The Witcher 3 because I kept hearing music in it. And it went like, ouch!
Bez muzyki.
Wtedy się grało
Okay,
bardzo przyjemnie.
no music. That was very pleasant to play,
No dobrze,
yes.
to
All right, all right.
Akcent mi się wydaje.
Tak
Dziękujemy
jest.
ci
I believe
bardzo
it's
za
a
rozmowę.
very strong
Gratulujemy
accent for
serdecznie.
closing this interview. Thank you very much, and congratulations to you and to Akira. The medium finally has it. Okay, we'll see what happens.
Dziękujemy pięknie.
Statuetka w kategorii Best
Statuette,
Original Soundtrack już wręczona. Raz
Best soundtrack has
gratulujemy
already been
nagrodzonemu.
given
A jak
to
ruszyliśmy
the
temat
winner.
muzyki, to
And
czas
speaking
rozróżniać
of music,
gości. Zarówno tutaj w Centrum
let's
Kongresowym ICE,
move a
jak i
bit
przed
around
telewizorem.
here
Panie i panowie,
and
przed nami
in front of the TV
Wojciech
screens.
Urbański i Stanisław Słowiński. Pozwólcie, że na chwilę zmienimy temat.
And let's change the topic. It's difficult to celebrate because over the eastern border the war is being waged. We support the Ukrainian people wholeheartedly in their struggle against the Russian invader. And just like just like they have been creating games, they will be further creating games in the future. And since the very beginning, the Polish gaming industry was supporting the attack to Ukraine under attack. And also here in this room, we have many people who have been involved in helping those who are suffering from the war. They decided to resign from their revenues and to donate to Ukraine. And we would like to thank all those who are helping those in need. And we thank all of you. And we know that there have been quite a number of people and companies who stand out, but all of you have done a great job. And indeed, it should be said that not only the biggest players have helped, but also independent creators and small studios. And we feel this gesture has been very important for our Ukrainian friends. So many great thanks and round of applause to you, to the Polish creators of games.
Trwa 10. jubileuszowa gala Digital Dragons Awards 2022. Pora na wręczenie kolejnej statuetki. Tym razem docenieni zostaną najlepsi projektanci rozgrywki. Za chwilę i Tadziu, i Radziu przypomną nominowanych, a jestem ciekawa, żeby powiedzieć, podekscytowana, kto zgarnie tą statuetkę.
The Chronicles of Myrtana are Holos, the Chronicles of Myrtana team.
Chernobylite, The Farm 51.
The Medium, Bloober team.
Timberborn, Mechanistry.
I na koniec Mr. Prepper, Rejected Games.
Goście Digital Dragons oraz widzowie przed telewizjami mają na
undoubtedly the guests here and those in front of us, they have their own favorites, but let's see the results and we'll present the award for the best Polish game design.
Dobry wieczór. Bardzo
Evening. I'm very happy that this is the category that I can present. I work in musical industry on an everyday basis, but as I put yet another game on the shelf, I understood that what is most important for me in the games is immersive feeling, and the winner today, I think, is the one who has achieved this immersive effect in a very nice way. It's indeed something that pulls you into the screen, and it's something really special. Just let me have a look. Let me double check. All is correct. All is fine. So the winner is, in the best design, is the Medium, Bloober team. Many thanks.
Bardzo dziękujemy.
We're very grateful and would like to thank all those who have helped us to create this medium, because design is not something that just pops up. And this is the third iteration of this game, and we would like to thank all those who have been dealing with design before us, and we have learned a lot on their work, and would like to thank Piotr, who has placed that trust in, because he gave his own child for us to bring up. Many thanks.
Zapraszamy oczywiście.
Please join us, gentlemen. Proper people on the sofa. Here's your sofa. Take your seats, 2 mics, and over to you.
Fajny moment.
It's our time to answer the first question. The classical question: what was the greatest challenge with designing for a game that is based on story? Two screens. That's the challenge. I remember the first time when Piotr said, "Listen, guys, we wanted to do it a couple of times in our company. We failed, and now you do it." That's right. That's the way it was. So we just got this project, and the task was deliver. Yes, and they were just happened to pass by and just called you. Yes, there was this console, remember? Nintendo TDS, based on 2 screens. On the second screens, there was that map in inventory. Exactly. It was quite difficult, yes, but it's a very difficult solution. But you opted for a different idea. How did you come up with it? Well, the idea, it was Marlen's Piotr's idea. We simply redesigned it. So we had to do something that was doable, but that was yet another iteration, further development of this idea. So undoubtedly there's been some documentation that was 10 years old, something like that, like 10 years old. Well, there was nothing left of the first iteration, but something in the second iteration was there. So what were the assumptions of the second iteration? Well, there was the name of one character, Thomas, has always been there. So Thomas has been since the very beginning with us. Otherwise, everything has been redesigned. Oh, no. It was inspired by Beksiński, so it was already there. So I would like to ask about your inspirations, because it's more artsy than a gameplay type of inspiration. But the sole fact of having that weird world affecting you designing the game. Well, we want to create a world that renders the characters well, so that that world is not based on mythology or religion or whatnot. And Beksiński paints emotions really well on items that are somehow connected with Poland, like the Fiat 126P in the desert. I mean, it's just really cool, this void of the world, and there is this light of hope that we wanted to show at all times. Local patriotism as well, because it's all based in Kraków. That's the game, based in Poland. Any Pole can really relate to this game. That's true. Indeed, that's true. Actually, when I played this game, I felt home. Guys, so Blueberry is a specialist on narration-based games, and aren't you missing doing something that would be pure gameplay type of experience, like Piotr here would say, Piotr, we have this great idea. We've done it already. I'm just kidding. It's not about moving from one extreme to the other. From layers, observer, blur, and now medium, it just shows that we're on a certain path. There is more gameplay. Yes, we're changing perspective. Sometimes it's using fixed camera in the 21st century. That's a hardcore thing to do, but it's doable. Sometimes it's first person, sometimes third person, but it's not just gameplay. And sometimes we're just telling a story. We simply want to tell a story. This is the game. One can die, actually died. But what was really impressive, that those 2 screens and 2 worlds are somehow generated at the same time. Can you speak of this technological challenge? How did you do that? That was a really difficult thing to do with all these details. You could do that without any single problem. You just rode with flying colors on the white horse, and white steed. Mariusz had that idea how to do that, and we don't really know this, how it works. It's about playing 2 games, kind of 2 games at the same time. In most cases, we had to do it in such a way that it would not choke the gamer, that it could be played in a stable way. And all those technical moments had to be done. What haven't you done with this game but wanted to do? Perhaps there are many things that you were thinking of but failed to do. That's the world. But what is it that you wanted to be there so much and isn't there? Well, I think think that whatever we were really keen on, we've done it.
No dobra, nie udało się pogłaskać kota
Right,
na
so you
przykład,
cannot
nie? To
stroke a
jest taki
cat.
dramat.
Fine, okay.
Ale
I
o
mean,
kota
that's...
walczyliśmy i się udało
But
go
we
zrobić.
were fighting to have a cat, and we do have a cat. I didn't want to have a cat. I really didn't want to have the... Wojtek wanted the cat, and he has it. So one of you loves dogs, and the other one loves cats. Well, it's usually with the first ideas, 60% of the ideas die in the process of making. But it's not that we discarded something really big from this story. So you didn't have to trade off with and sacrifice something that would break you. Well, there was pandemic, there was lockdown, and we actually returned back from London after our first recordings with actors. Then it turned out that nothing could be done. Everything had to be done remotely, and that was quite a challenge. And tell us about how this producing mock-up, you had 2,500 kilometers between, how you were doing remotely. We were doing all the recording in Warsaw, but because of the pandemic, we could not meet.
No, the distance didn't matter at all. The positive thing was that our lead cinematic artists had the idea to have all the cutscenes as pre-sessions. We were there usually with Wojtek. That was in the engine for 2 years. They said that we hug one another. There were plenty of those close scenes, but it put a lot into the work with an actor because we had ideas and we said, okay, do it this way, but put emotions into it. It wasn't easy because you were asking what we gave up and so forth. I believe that when everything clicked, that there are 2 screens, it's legible, we can tell a tale, then everything was there, everything was fantastic. After Medium, I don't think there are many things that will be capable of surprising us. How about 4 screens? Congratulations once again, gentlemen. Congratulations. Remember about your egg.
Co roku przyglądamy się
Every year
setkom
we
gier, które
watch
polscy
hundreds
twórcy
of
chcą
games
zagrać.
that Polish artists want to win the world with. We use PCs, consoles, and we don't forget mobiles. Who had greatest productions last year? Each of them can win Digital Dragons Award for the best mobile Polish game.
The Witcher Monster Slayer spoko.
Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales, CD Projekt Red, adapted by Crunchy Koalas.
Ancestor Legacy, Destructive Creations.
Here Be Dragons, Red Zero Games.
Hero Legacy Adventure RPG Gamester.
Czas na otwarcie koperty z wynikami.
Time to open the envelope with the results. Can I have Paweł Węgrzyn from the Jagiellonian University? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Tutaj zdecydowanie, zanim cokolwiek powiem, to
Okay, certainly before I say anything, I look into the envelope because the jury in this category was very undecided.
tajnikach obrad jury się nie
Well,
mówi, ale
you don't
tyle
talk
mogę powiedzieć,
about what's
że,
happening
w tym przypadku
in the jury,
tej kategorii
but in the case of this category, the president of the jury had
zordynować
to
tiebreakowe głosowanie i wynik
announce a
głosowania też był
tiebreak
tiebreakowy. Także w tej
vote,
kategorii zwycięzca
and it was
wygrał
another tiebreak.
głos.
So it was really a hair's breadth that made someone win. Now, what was that hair? Not the hair of a dog that bit you, but the hair that made the verdict go this way. Some say that
recenzjach, że ta gra ma
This game has a very original style. Yes, perhaps it's so, but you can say it about so many competitors as well. Certainly, there's plenty of ingenious mechanics. People won't get bored, but I believe there's been something more in it. When I was testing that game, I just realized it's this sense of humor and plenty of lightness, very cool Polish language. Okay, the winner is Here Be Dragons.
Niesamowite.
Absolutely uncanny. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this prize at this so prestigious Polish game dev event. Obviously, that was an indie game, but it still had quite an involvement from many people. Unfortunately, we don't have plenty of members of a team, and may I now use this opportunity to thank on behalf of Marek Rutkowski, who is the man behind all the animations, this quite unique visual setting, to my colleagues who invested into that idea, that concept, and supported it from the start, Marcin Cieślikowski and Hubert Studniarek for their involvement into business concepts, the time, and Szymon Dębski, who was responsible for the whole design layer. And that was hard fight. The concepts were changing all the time. To Marta Ziółkowska, there's the programming part, among others. Piotr Niedzielski, who was responsible for the sonic layer, and to all the people who more or less helped to produce, to deliver. Thank you.
Zapraszamy, zapraszamy.
Join us, join us, join us.
Teraz gratulujemy oczywiście.
Be here with us. Congratulations once again. Congratulations.
Gratulacje.
Congratulations. Sit down.
Słuchajcie, kilka lat temu
Look, several years ago, a great Polish artist had that important claim. Mobile is dead. How is it to be an undead?
Jest taka długa podróż,
It's kind of a long journey, but finally it's a very rewarding journey when you've worked for so long on something and finally we reach it, and that's something that you put all your heart in. It was a very difficult cruise. This was a project in real time. Now you take turns. Just imagine how long that path was. We've learned a lot. I really had gone, and so have Marta. I've gone through plenty of projects. I adapted plenty of board games. And from the point of view of design, I had to learn everything and, of course, make all the possible mistakes that you can while working on it. Things that my colleagues have made, but I hadn't have that opportunity. You should learn from your mistakes. It would be cooler to learn from other people's mistakes, but can we risk this statement that mobile is alive? Yes, of course. I have a different question connected to it. You selected a very strange path. Usually mobile games are not what you're doing. You made an ambitious mobile game. I'm not saying that it's a free-to-play and so on. Premium game. It's very extensive, very well developed, just the absolute opposite of what we usually think about mobile games. Why not take an easy path and make millions? I come from mobile games, and they were still different at the time. This is how we started. That was the market of premium games first. When this project developed, this free-to-play market just started existing, but it was not where it is today. However, the project got extended so much that we released it on Steam. We never planned it. It was to be a mobile game. It found its perfect place on Switch, and yes, the mobiles. But, you know, in the meantime, we did it so long that the markets changed. But from start, we were saying that this game will fit mobiles best, and they were our main target. Mobiles are playing when you travel. We must suspend, we must stop the game. So that's certainly also a challenge for your design. What was your greatest challenge from your perspective? Well, just having the idea to have those turns and to play it, to balance the system in individual puzzles. Once we had the idea and it started working, it just fit the mobile game where you can play a single game, 1, 2, and then have a break. So that fit quite well. Turns are fairly short, so if you take a few steps on a tram, of course, we play first of all on a tram. Are you staying with mobiles, or are you taking to the high seas next game? Absolutely all the platforms. We make games for all the platforms. That's the market. It's so hard, really, not to say about the indies. The only opportunity is to do it for anything you can, and then perhaps you can be successful. Most game developers today focus their energy this way, and success is what we wish you. You already have one success, now go on, continue. Okay, Digital Dragons, and the title was prophetic, really. Congratulations, congratulations, and let's go on.
Za chwilę poznamy nominowanych w kolejnej
In a moment,
kategorii.
we'll learn who the nominees are in another category. Well, although we work with mostly Polish games, but foreign ones also may win something. Last year, we saw some pearls, and everyone will find something on our list of the best foreign games.
Resident Evil Village, Capcom.
It Takes Two, Hazelight Studios.
Forza Horizon 5, Playground Games.
Valheim, Iron Gate Studio.
Inscription, Daniel Mullins Games.
I ostatnia nominowana gra Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Eidos Montreal.
Jury miało ciężki orzech do zgryzienia,
Well,
ale już zaraz
it's quite a
dowiemy
tough
się,
nut
kto
to
zdobył
crack.
statuetkę,
Well,
ponieważ kopertę otworzę ja.
And I'm going to open the envelope and we'll see who the winner is.
Zwycięzcą jest
And the winner
It
is...
Takes Two, Hazelight Studios.
Unfortunately, the representative of the studio is not here with us, but we have a short video message.
Hello, my name is Joseph Fares, game director at Hazelight. Me and Team Hazelight are super proud of winning the Digital Dragon Awards for Best Foreign Games. Thank you so much.
Uwaga, drobny spoiler.
And
Mamy jeszcze do
a
zrobienia
spoiler,
dosłownie
we
dwie statuetki
still
do
have more two
tegorocznego
statuettes to
jubileuszu
give
Digital Dragons 2022.
within this gala 2022. The atmosphere is hot, and before we have this special award for on the occasion of the decade and the category of the best Polish game, Wojtek Urbański and Stanisław Sawicki.
Dziękujemy Wojtkowi
We would
Urbańskiemu
like to thank Wojtek Urbański and Stanisław Słowiński. And it is tradition of the Digital Dragons Awards to present special awards to people who stand out with their talent, experience and above knowledge in this industry. Tadeusz and Radosław will recall the previous winners.
Special Recognition Award, Hall of Fame. Zaczniemy od początku.
Let us begin with the beginning. 2015, the first winner, Tomasz Gop, senior producer of Flying Wild Hawk and one of the most recognizable faces in Polish game dev. And in 2016, it was Michał Mada, designer, director, now Activision Blizzard, one of the most respected Polish creators, video game designer, screenwriter and programmer, software developer 2017. And a great winner, Maciej Miąsik, member of the board Movie Games and the founder of Pixel Grow, a veteran in this industry, although he himself does not really like this term. 2018, the winner was Jakub Wójcik of the Indie Games Foundation's Star Drifters and one of the most distinguished people for the Polish games industry. 2019, Paweł Miechowski, PR lead, 11-bit studios, the face and ambassador of the domestic games industry in foreign markets. And actually, he didn't get the award, did not receive the award that year because he had a birthday party in 2022. 2020, Jakub Maszałkowski, Indie Games Poland Foundation GIC, one of the founders and a member of the board of the Indie Games Poland Foundation. We're getting closer. 2021, Artur Maksaras, Senior Developer Relations Manager at Intel Man Institution, as we said, has been supporting game developers for years.
Przecież teraz to niedobrze być papieżem.
It's not so good to be a pope these days, though.
Raz jeszcze wielkie brawa
And
dla dotychczasowych
once again,
laureatów.
great round of applause to the winners from the previous years.
Oto nasze Digital Dragonsowe Hall of Fame. Pora
This
dopisać
is our
kolejne
Digital
nazwisko
Dragon
do
Hall
listy
of
Game
Fame
Dev
and
osobowości.
time to
Zapraszam na
add
scenę
another name to this
znanego
list of game dev
profesjonalnego
personalities. I would like to invite the KPT Board of Directors to the stage to present the winner of this exceptional category. Good evening. Good evening. This year,
Postanowiliśmy nagrodzić osobę,
we decided to present the award to the person that has contributed a lot to the development of Polish game dev. For many years, he has been writing articles and doing podcasts, videocasts, educating and informing. He's not afraid of difficult questions and topics and knows basically everything about the beginnings of the Polish game dev. Now, he is the
bazy wiedzy o polskim game devie.
he knows a lot so from the game dev.
Był szefem działu publicystyki w miesięczniku CDX.
He is currently the publisher of polskigamedev.pl, a knowledge base on Polish game dev. He is a critic, columnist, journalist for many years. He has head of journalism in the monthly magazine CD Action. He wrote about games in Play, PC Format, Play, Box and Pixel, as well as the pages. He cooperates with the Dwutygodnik and Gazeta Wyborcza and publishes texts on minorities and exclusion politica. He is the person who has breathed in some life into this quite difficult industry where it's all boring and all you do is just presenting awards. So the Jubilee Special Recognition Award goes to Mateusz Witczak.
Tak, jestem bardzo
I
zaskoczony.
am so very much surprised. Honestly,
Stałem, wiecie, na gali.
I've never been standing here as someone to receive an award. Sometimes I was delivering awards quite successfully from time to time. But if I may say a few words, just would like to thank all those who are here. I would like to thank all those who are watching this gala using Polsat Games and some other channels. I have not expected expected this industry that I joined accidentally, so to speak. I have not expected this industry to give me so much fun, so much joy, so much experience for so many years, more than 10 years. I'm really grateful for being here, grateful for you doing the things you're doing. You're just great guys. There is nothing to add, no card in the sleeve to add.
Zapraszamy, Mateusz.
Mateusz, please join us. Come here, let's talk. Let's talk.
Sprawdziłeś? Na pewno jest twoje?
Have you checked it? Is this yours?
To jest podpisane nawet imię.
Is there a signature? Is there my name on it?
Jestem tak zaskoczony.
I'm so surprised.
Nigdy w życiu mi się nie zdarzyło
Never in my life
po prostu tak przepięknie
have I
zrobiony w
been
bambuko, że jeszcze siedzę z wami na próbie,
surprised
prawda?
and
Nie
fooled
przygotowaliśmy
during
się
this gala.
do końca.
As you can see, nothing is really rehearsed here. It was a genuine mistake that I made. Wow.
Słuchaj, ty nam zrobiłeś
Listen,
dzisiaj dzień, myśmy zrobili tobie.
you
Zrobiłeś też program.
actually made this the day, and yes, I just thought maybe there's yet another mistake during this gala. Listen, it just happened so that I have exactly the same background as you have. So for me, giving an award to a journalist to say that you are the personality of the game dev community, that's quite a special treat. And you are the journalist who does exactly what journalists should be doing. You actually like sticking putting the stick into the ant hole just to create commotion, create movement. You've been a reviewer as well. You were writing really great reviews in the past, and the review that you presented was exactly the way we used to write reviews in the past. Anyway, that was... When was it that you decided to become an investigative journalist? Those are big words. But for me, the key point was that time when this personality we're talking about here should be somewhere in the backstage, so to speak, because back in the 1990s, journalists were mastering mass imagination. We wanted to know what to play, how to play, but there was an unhealthy cult in the past. There was this pride that I didn't really like in this profession, but due to the great people that I've met on my path, and perhaps I would use this moment to thank Jakub, Maciej and Jakub and many others, great people from the Polish Foundation and all those people who cooperate with the Polish Foundation, because it's great that after so many years in this industry I can still learn so many new things. We're all learning all the time. That's the great thing. It's actually a popular thing. Even at the very top, we're still learning. But there is something beautiful about it. That if there is a little bit of humility in us, you can see that we can describe this industry in the way it is. I hope, or could be, we hope, and sometimes we can make people warn against some things. Sometimes we can blame some people, but being honest in that blaming. That's right. You're kind of trying to go beyond our bubble, and you're trying to go beyond the mainstream. So how was it with those? How was it to write for the Dwutygodnik or to the Polityka? Who approached them? You approached them, or did they approach you? Well, I approached them, but it wasn't that difficult, because it's not that we are working with a niche medium. In fact, we are very much quite a mainstream of the Polish culture in the United States of America. No one would be reading Remigiusz Mroz, but everyone knows what The Witcher is. Everyone will be looking for Smarzowski's premiere, because we have global brands. We produce 98% of our games go to the export markets. So we not only chase the global culture, but actually I would risk to say that we are creating, we're the trendsetters. We are the trendsetters. We are the mainstream. And if we look forget the Polish culture. We are the trendsetters. But what do you wish to this industry? Another decade of development, symbolically, not only symbolically.
Pracy, ale mądrej pracy. Nie pracy, która miałaby
As much work as there can only be, not only self-exploitation and burnout of yourself, often your friends, often your people, because we have this seepage of talent. After a premiere, the studio must be organized from scratch because there were great experts, great specialists, they're gone, and they may have problem with the psychological hygiene. I wish you have good work, clever work, best 8 hours a day. Is there anyone you're dedicating this prize, this award to? Who could I? Well, I've never considered that. I believe I'd like to dedicate it to all of us, because without all of us, you, I wouldn't be here. And I'm really so surprised that I'm sitting here many years after, I don't know, I was stealing at night to play Baldur's Gate, and I put my life on
Dalej się z tego niesamowicie cieszę,
that
dalej mnie to niesamowicie fascynuje. Także dedykuję ją wam wszystkim. Dzięki.
front. I still play it, and I dedicate it to all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you, and congratulations, Mateusz. And we wish you more interesting subjects. Congratulations.
Gratulacje.
Okay, congratulations. And the last words of our winner was very Polish.
Powoli zbliżamy się do
We're
wielkiego finału
slowly
10.
coming to the
jubileuszowej gali
grand
Digital
finale
Dragons
of
Awards
the
2022.
10th Digital Dragons
Została nam
Awards
jeszcze
Gala.
ostatnia
We have the last egg to
Przypominam, że
present.
w tym roku na shortlistę trafiły
This
aż
year,
53
shortlisted were
polskie gry.
53
O
Polish
ostatecznej
games,
liście
and
nominowanych
the
zdecydowaliście wy,
final
polscy
list of
twórcy gier.
nominees
A
was
zwycięzcę
your
wyłoniło
work,
nasze jury.
Polish game
Poznajcie nominowanych
developers.
w kategorii
And now,
Polish
whom the
Game.
jury nominated as the best Polish game.
The Chronicles of Myrtana are Holos, the Chronicles of Myrtana team.
The Medium Bluebird Team.
Chernobylite, the Farm 51.
Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 Red Dot Games.
I ostatni nominowany Growing Up, Vile Monarch.
Która gra okaże się najlepszą polską
Which
produkcją?
game will
Odpowiedź
prove
jest w
to be the
ofercie.
best Polish
Wyniki w tej kategorii
production? The answer
zaprezentuje
is in the
pan
envelope,
Józef Gawron,
and we'll
wicemarszałek
have
województwa
Józef Gawron,
małopolskiego.
Deputy
Zapraszam
Marshal
na
of
scenę.
Małopolska region, presenting the results. Can I have you on the stage?
Witam, szanowni państwo, jest to dla mnie ogromny
Welcome,
zaszczyt,
ladies and gentlemen.
że
It's a great honor
właśnie
for
mnie
me
przypadnie
that it's
ta możliwość
I who will have
przedstawienia
that opportunity
laureata
to
najważniejszej
present the
kategorii
winner of the most important
Best Polish
category,
Game.
the best Polish game.
Ja naprawdę nie wiem, co jest
I
skuteczne,
really
więc
don't
proszę
know
państwa,
what
że nie tyle się
I'll
upewnię, co
find
się
in the
dowiem.
envelope. I'm not just making sure, I'm just learning now.
Tak.
Oh, yes.
Dzięki pogłębionej recenzji i
Thanks
laudacji pana
to
Mateusza
the
Witczaka pozostaje
long
mi zadanie
review
wiele
from
prostsze.
Mateusz, my task is
Wygłoszenie
now
tej
much
formuły,
easier.
że
I
laureatem
just
i
say
zwycięzcą
that
kategorii najlepszej
the
polskiej gry, Best
winner
Polish Game jest
of the best
The
Polish
Medium,
game
Bluebird
is
Team.
the Medium Bluebird Team.
Ale jajo.
Chciałem podziękować wszystkim głosującym. Chciałem
That's
podziękować
a real
oczywiście jury,
egg. I'd
natomiast
like to thank all the
pozwolę sobie na
voters
drugą
and the
prywatę.
jury, but
Chciałem tę nagrodę
I'll
dedykować
send a
mojej
private
żonie i mojej
message.
córce, która po 2
This
tygodniach walczenia w
prize
szpitalu
is dedicated
dzisiaj
to my
wyszła
wife
i
and
jest
daughter.
ponownie zdrowa,
After
także z tego
2
bardzo się
weeks
cieszę.
of
Natomiast
struggling in hospital, she's out back home and healthy again.
Natomiast chciałem podziękować
May I
całemu
thank
zespołowi,
my
który w
entire
pocie
team
czoła przez lata
who
pracował i to nie
have
tylko
been
tym,
sweating
którzy
for years,
kończyli tą
not
grę,
only the ones
ale
who
również tym,
completed
którzy
this game,
zaczynali,
but
którzy
also
byli z
the
nami od
ones who
początku, bo
started,
tak naprawdę ta
who
gra
were
była
with us
tworzona
from
i
day
nabierała
one.
atmosfery przez te wszystkie lata.
The game was
Chciałem powiedzieć,
gathering
że
momentum
bardzo często
and
zapomina się o
atmosphere
tym,
for
że
all
w
these
firmie
years.
są
You often
również
forget
inne działy.
that there are
A ja
other
chciałem
divisions
docenić
in the
pracę
company,
naszych
and
ludzi od
I'd like
marketingu,
to
bo zrobili naprawdę
appreciate
świetną
our
robotę.
marketing
Chciałem
people.
docenić
They
również
did a
pracę
great
naszej
job,
administracji.
and also our
Pamiętajcie, że bez
administration.
administracji nie moglibyśmy
Remember,
otworzyć
if
gier.
there is no administration,
Mam
you
ten
don't do
niezwykły przywilej,
games.
że pracuję z
This is my
najfajniejszymi
great
ludźmi w
privilege
game
to work with the coolest
Gratulacje,
people in
to wasza
game dev.
nagroda.
Congratulations, and this is your prize. This is your award.
Wszyscy pracujemy z najfajniejszymi
We
ludźmi w
all
game
work
devie.
with the coolest people in game dev. Of course, congratulations. That's the best Polish game and you're the winner. I know it's coming back, but that's this greatest act of
Droga, którą wyście przeszli, to
survival in game dev. Everyone's been there. From the bottom of the tank to the best Polish game. What should I say? Say that I'm happy, I'm proud, I'm happy.
Take it away.
Take it away. Hey, we've got, you see, we've got a hard guy to talk to. Well, you should say a lot in the evening about the medium. We all surprised positively with the results. We're not going to laugh at you and jeer. Yes, these were the results that we were waiting for. Piotr, I can't see a smartwatch on your wrist, so perhaps it's hard now to say how fast your heart beats, but I believe that the blood pressure must be very high. Yes. Okay, cool. We have a challenge. He's going to use one-word answers. Will the next game in Bluebird? No, let's not do that. Is that your dream coming true? Well, it's just like Jacek and Wojtek said, it's my child. I worked on it for such a long time, and there was the time when you had to let this child out, and I was very passionately looking at my team working on it, even though at the beginning they said that no can do. I went on saying yes you can, and finally believed. Thank you for that. Right? They perhaps needed a lot of motivation, because if it took so long, there must have been the moments of doubt. Were there they? A good question. Were there those moments? Moment of doubt on the project? No, we never had one. We had doubts whether we can present it at the quality we'd like to have. We had doubts about design, about the script. Well, I never doubted that we would develop, and I believe so did my team. So you believed that you needed a team, convince the team, motivate them, and then, lo and behold, next game comes and you could also publish that. Okay, you mean. When will you start making films? Because you are a very film-like film. You talked about it to us once and in many interviews. I believe we really started, as Darek said, with the medium we had 19 minutes of cutscenes, so an hour and a half of film. Yes, we usually work with actors. We try to employ people who can share emotions, who can impart them, so it is so, but we are in the game dev sector. Perhaps there will be films, series, we work on it with our partners, but it's most important for us to create games and to get the players do them with us in the games that we make. You have no game, you have no tale if there's nobody on the other side. You had Veronika Rossati participating in it. Did you participate in talks with Veronika? Did it take long to get her in? Well, we've known each other just like with Marcin. We just invited them to the project and there was no problem for
Wydaje
them
mi
to
się, że
participate.
to dobrze zamyka.
Well, I
jakby
believe
całą
that
rozmowę.
it's a good
Piotrek,
closing of that
gratulujemy ci
game.
naprawdę z
Piotrek,
całego
we
serca.
really
Mówię,
congratulate
że
you with all our
obserwowanie tego,
hearts,
zwłaszcza
you
po tym,
know,
jak żeśmy mieli
observing
okazję
that,
cię poznać,
especially
tam
after we
poznać,
had an opportunity to
sama
get to know you
przyjemność.
and to
Naprawdę
talk to you.
gratulujemy całemu
It's
teamowi
pure
i,
pleasure. We congratulate the whole team
dziękuję.
and you.
Ja też
Thank
sobie
you.
życzę, że
I
następnym
wish to
razem, jak się
myself
będziemy
that the next
spotykać,
time we
to
meet,
powiecie, że już we dwóch
you
jeździcie
say
Lamborghini.
that you both drive your
Może przyjdzie taki
Lamborghinis.
dzień, faktycznie.
This is going to be so. Yes, we know that journalism brings lots of profits.
Dziękujemy pięknie, Piotrze.
Okay,
z tej strony.
Bitcoin
Tak jest.
can get you your
Dziękujemy
Lambo.
bardzo.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Tegoroczna gala Digital
Well,
Dragons
this year's Digital Dragons Awards 2022 is coming to a close by and by, and this is the gala that has been full of surprises. In a moment, we will invite everyone to give an applause to all the winners, and we would like to thank one person who has been with us since the very beginning. We all love that person and respect that person. We owe a lot to that person. Therefore,
Zapraszamy na scenę
we would like to
Anię
invite
Krampus-Sypielak, matkę
um,
smoków.
the mother of the dragons, Anna Sapela. Over to you.
To nie spodziewałaś się.
Gratulujemy i dziękujemy.
I teraz musisz kilka słów do mikrofonu.
Dzięki, jestem bardzo
Thanks.
zaskoczona.
I'm actually surprised.
W ogóle z tej branży, tak, ale staram się.
I'm not from this industry, but I'm trying.
Strasznie się zajawiłam tą branżą. Tyle mogę powiedzieć.
Trying as best as I can. I really love this industry. We are trying to do as much as possible for you. Guys, come on, I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
Dzięki wam, to jest
Thanks
wasza nagroda.
to
ja
you.
was tylko
That's your
wspieram.
award.
Dzięki.
I'm here just to support you. Many thanks.
Chcieliśmy raz jeszcze podziękować
We
w imieniu
wanted to
swoim
thank on
oraz
our own behalf and on behalf of the organizers of the KPT and on behalf of the city of Kraków, we would like to thank the representatives of the city, of the region, and we would like to thank all of our distinguished guests and sponsors. And of course, we would like to thank you, the audience, present at this gala, and also would like to thank all those who are following us on Pulse of Games. And finally, the final line.
Wszystkich tegorocznych laureatów. Przede wszystkim
Let us welcome all of the winners, this year's winners here on the stage. Let's thank them again and see you soon next year. Many thanks. Bye-bye.